Like, I think you saying that, like, you stand for LGBTQ rights is actually really controversial now in 2025 because of the administration, because so many people came out and said that they're conservative, you know? So I'd actually say if cancel culture didn't already not exist, especially in 2025, it's like next to nothing.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to school. But don't worry, everything is cool. I'm your host, Julyssa, and of course, I am here with the boys, Steve and Brandon. Say what's up, you guys.
What's up?
And how y'all doing today?
Go ahead, Brandon. Let them know.
I'm doing pretty good.
This is our 1 week breather episode because we just had a guest last week, and we're gonna have another one next week. So be prepared. It should be
next week.
Well, we're gonna have another guest, right, Julie?
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Let me see your excited face, Julie. Wow, look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy, dude.
It's just so I can keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't revealed to anybody who it is.
Me neither. I haven't told nobody.
Close to the chest.
I've told people that. Never mind.
Oh.
Wow.
Never mind.
That's gotta be crazy.
Santa Claus.
But how are you guys doing? Oh, what were we gonna say?
I was gonna say if you guys watched the Oscars.
Yes, we did. We did watch the Oscars.
Not really.
I watched parts of it. I watched it in parts. It was hard for me to pay attention.
I would say I did watch it in parts too.
It was a little boring for me.
Yeah, low key, right?
So I didn't watch it. I didn't finish. I only got up to when they did like best animation or whatever it was. And then the movie that I wanted to win lost, and I was like,
what did you want to win?
The Wild Robot.
That was a good movie, huh? She was sad, dude.
Oh, did you end up watching it?
Yeah, she was sad.
Good, right?
When you know what part got me? When the beaver makes her a leg.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, damn, he came around. He's cool, actually.
Julie's about to break down right now.
That was a good ass.
I didn't cry, but other people cried.
What's the?
Excuse me?
What's the name of the?
Wait, that makes it sound like I cried.
What's the
My
name
girlfriend cried.
What's the name of the gosling that she raises?
Oh,
I forget his name.
Ryan or some shit?
Some shit like that. It's like
Ryan Gosling? No.
She calls it something that's like really simple.
Yeah.
Like that's all she knows.
Egghead or some shit. No, it doesn't.
Oh, yeah, isn't it? It's like a number.
Yeah.
It's like, then he just calls himself like short for it. It's like, my name is like 14.
Yeah.
They call me 40 or some shit like that.
Shit like that.
Some shit like that.
It's a good movie.
You guys should watch it. Actually, for those of you who are real cinemaphiles listening to this and watching this,
is it Fink?
Fink? Is it actually?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It also got me when the alpha goose, the head goose, like was like, nah, he's actually cool. He's getting ready for the spoilers, seriously, spoilers. Yeah.
He fucking dies, dude.
Yeah, that shit was sad, bro.
He gets obliterated too off screen.
I know. I thought they were gonna they were gonna do that stupid thing where they were like, no, it was the robot. Like they weren't gonna be able to tell that it was two different robots.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Or they were gonna come back and they were like, she's a monster.
If it was probably Disney or
yeah,
some
they would
shit,
have done some shit.
They would have done some shit like that.
Yeah, but anyways,
I was gonna say, wait, let me finish my sentence. For the real cinephiles out there, if you actually want to watch some of the animated nominated Oscars for Best Picture, 3 of them are on streaming. The Wallace and Gromit's on Netflix, The Wild Robots on Peacock, and Flow is on HBO Max.
Wait, what's the first one you said?
The Wallace and Gromit. That one's on Netflix. I watched a little bit of it. It was good so far.
It was funny.
It's kind of boring.
It's British.
Because they're British.
Yeah, I think British stuff is usually pretty boring. But I think it's because our American mind is used. British people like take things really slow.
Yeah.
Like the novelty of simplicity.
You can say they're boring. British people are boring. Their food's boring.
British people are boring. I don't think our entertainment.
I always just feel like their plots are just like bad.
Right? I feel like
because I feel like the way the movie started, like I get like it was setting up the villain and like I was just like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I was like, I was genuinely trying because I was like, I know it's like an animation and they're supposed to go out of like, the norm because it's animation. it was just not getting me.
Yeah.
I
I
was
get
like,
you.
I don't.
Yeah,
I heard the cat movie's good. Flo, the one that won.
we watched it.
Was
We
good?
watched it.
Or not? You don't like it?
I didn't get it.
Patrick loved it.
It's very cat centered, so it makes
Oh,
sense.
I think
makes
because it
sense.
has cats.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
And he loves cats. I think I like it. I like that it won because it was done on free software that's
Yeah.
available to the public. No voice actors, and it was done by a small group of small team in a foreign country. I think that's cool. I do say that I think I need to rewatch it. I did get a little lost.
Inside Out 2 is good too.
I'm surprised that didn't win, and not even because I'm a Disney dick rider. I thought that movie was huge.
No, yeah, I think this is the longest streak Disney has gone without an Oscar for an animated movie. Did you guys know that?
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I agree. Do you guys see Disney has a Christian character now in one of their shows?
No.
They have, you know how they make shows on Disney Plus that are just shows?
Yeah.
They have their show. It was the show that apparently had a trans kid, but the Disney made them take it out, or like a trans storyline. Disney made them take it out, but they also but now they have a Christian kid who's.
So they took out the trans kid and inserted a Christian kid.
I don't know if they took it out and inserted, or if it was always there and they just kept him because they were like, that's
Interesting.
cool. Yeah,
Very interesting.
wild, right?
That is wild. Julie, go ahead. Let us know how pissed you are. No, not at that. Actually, sorry. That sounded so wrong. I meant at Flo winning the Oscar. My bad.
Oh,
My bad. That sounded so crazy.
I mean, I always feel like with the Oscars, it's always like a movie wins and I have no idea what movie it is. Like,
but this time
so
you watched
usually-
it.
I mean, the only one that I watched was The Wild Robot, and then we watched Flow just because it won. I feel like, I mean, if that's your type of movie, I guess and you like it.
She's pissed, bro. She's pissed. The Wild Robot.
I just didn't get it. I was just like, I think part of it is when we watched the Explained, and it was like about religion, and I was like, I guess that makes sense why it won.
Oh, Flow's about religion?
It's like semi.
It's
like-
based off
Kinda
like
like Noah's Ark.
It's based off like the Catholic Christian mythology.
Like Noah's Ark.
Yeah. I don't know if you care about spoilers. I can pinpoint some moments that happen in the movie.
Yeah, tell me, what is it?
Like at the end of the movie. So spoilers for everybody listening. So one of the main characters is like this crane kind of bird, and it seems like there's this symbolic juxtaposition of him and his flock and the angels, like in heaven. So the whole movie, you know how it's flow. Do you know the plot? Do you know what's happening?
No, I have.
So the whole world is drowning. The whole world is being flooded. Get it? Like Noah's Ark and stuff. And so the world is basically ending, and it shows you like the end of society and stuff, and all these animals coming together. But specifically this one group of animals, it seems like they're supposed to be a metaphor for angels. One of them is, I guess, like pro humanity, pro Earth's creatures, and tries to help him. So the other angels like condemn him, and they break his wings, and so he's forced to now be with them and be like mortal. But at the end of the movie, he ascends to heaven. Literally, like the clouds clear and a beam of light opens up, and he.
But it kind of
rises.
just happens out of nowhere.
It does happen out of nowhere.
Like it's like there's nowhere in the movie that you feel this like, I guess like hint of like there's like magic or like there's like this like heavenly thing. It just happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I will say, even though I said the earth is flooding, I thought, and I remember because I was speaking during the movie, and it's okay, we weren't in a movie theater. We were in our living room. I was just saying that I thought it was like, oh, it's just like about climate change and like global warming. Like, did the humans bring an end to themselves? But no, it's like about like revelations and stuff.
Shit just kind of happens.
Yeah.
Well, that I will admit, that kind of just did happen. That kind of just happened.
It kind
out
of
of
just
nowhere.
happens, and then it just like the water goes away, and then they show a dead whale, and then
I wonder what the dead whale represented. Yeah, the movie ends on the. So after the angel goes to heaven, I guess like he died for their sins, like Jesus, and so he saves the world, and all the water starts going away from the entire world. But it ends on a giant whale, like in the forest, just kind of like obviously suffocating because he's not in water, and it ends on that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
so it's very.
the way I took that one is like, it's kind of like when they say like some things benefit certain people,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's others who suffer.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what the whale kind of represented. Of like he was swimming his like because it was flooding.
Yeah.
Like the whole entire earth was his now,
Yeah.
and like he was free to do whatever he wanted, and he was a good person because he was helping the cat.
Yeah.
And then once like the water just went away, he was the one who suffered because like the water went away. He couldn't swim anywhere.
Oh.
And so it was just like, but everybody else got to survive because, you know, like they were trying to survive the whole entire time that there was a flood. So it just reminded me of something like that, where it's just like, I think, you know, certain things just benefit certain people, and there's people who are good who end up just suffering. You
Wow,
know?
nice analysis.
At least that's what I
Julie.
took. At least that's what I took from it.
Stellar analysis.
And I think
dude.
that's why it made me even more like sad, because I'm like, this sucks, bro.
Yeah.
like this. I mean, the movie, like how I said, like I think the movie was okay.
Yeah.
It's just like that part where like the bird ascends didn't
Yeah.
make sense.
It
at
came
all.
out of nowhere. I was like, "Is this for real? Happening right now?"
Unless if we rewatch it and there's like hints about like religious or not religious, but like magical, like spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
But nowhere in there did I ever like feel that. It just kind of just came out of nowhere. And then I think that's where it fully like confused me, because then it was like, it felt like the plot was heading in one way and it headed to like a whole different direction. And it was just that specific scene. Like it was just that. And then after that, nothing else happened.
It's very metaphorical, bro. It's very metaphorical. So I like I said, I think I do have to rewatch it, because I think there was nuances and subtleties that I did not get. Because I'm telling you, yeah, I agree with Julie. I thought it was a good movie. And I think that animation wise, the way it's made, it's a fantastic movie. I think it deserved to win the Oscar. But I was very caught off guard by when he ascends to heaven.
He turns into Jesus.
Yeah. I was like, because there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
Because animals can't talk.
Yeah.
So everything's inferred.
So
like,
just like,
yeah, you kind of just assume what's going on. So there's no like explanation or like no like even they don't even like, I don't know how they mime. Like they don't mime like what's going on or anything.
They're just animals.
Shit just happens and you're like, whoa,
makes sense.
What's happening right now?
Oh, things just kind of flow. No,
I didn't get it.
because the movie's called Flow. It's like you have to go with the flow. Like sometimes shit just happens. No.
I guess.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on a little bit more to the Oscar
discourse.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened there. So there was like, multiple things that I think happened in the Oscars that I think were of note for me. The first one is kind of a funny one, so I wanted to bring it out because why not? It's fun. People were really upset about Conan O'Brien's joke at Drake's expense. Did you guys catch it when it happened live?
Yeah.
I got it. I laughed.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. He just said, we're halfway through the show. So that means we're going to bring out Kendrick to call Drake a pedophile. And then everybody in the audience,
Yeah.
like laughing.
Yeah.
But apparently people were really upset because they felt as though,
Look who's talking.
well, yeah, it was multiple layered. And I actually think that these points were fair enough to where I'll actually hear you out. I think some of the stuff that people said were interesting. One thing that people said was that Hollywood, a business that's like notoriously known for being pedophilic, like has employed actors and producers and directors who had actual allegations and accounts, as opposed to Drake, who is, I mean, as of right now, hasn't had an actual like case or lawsuit filed against him. Has he?
I don't know about filed against him, but there's that thing with where he's on stage and there's this 17-year-old girl.
Yeah,
and he's
true,
like, "You're gonna get me in trouble, 17."
Yeah.
So I mean,
he's been pervy, but she didn't come out and then say that he actually did do something.
yeah, she
right?
actually said people were tripping. She was like, "So what?"
Yeah, so the people bring that up and they're like, Drake, on record, doesn't actually have allegations, right? Well, whether or not one day there will be some, I can't say for now. But for now, he doesn't have any. And so, but Hollywood does have a lot of those. And so people are making it this joke of like pedophilia is funny, but a lot of those actors in that room who listened to that joke and who were laughing and pointing at Drake's expense.
There was three fingers pointing back at them.
Yeah, and they're like, well, I mean, you guys are the ones who kind of like, I mean, you guys have invited I mean, Adrien Brody literally won, and he was like, "I love Harvey Weinstein."
And Roman Polanski.
And he's dating. He's fucking his ex-wife too.
Who?
The girlfriend that he has
Is Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife?
She used to be married to Harvey Weinstein.
What?
And she has his children.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know
in
that.
I think in his speech when he's like, oh, they call him Papuzi or whatever.
Yeah.
The kids that he's referencing are Harvey Weinstein's kids.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
You did your research. That's how I know Julie's about to kill this.
I
shit.
know he signed the petition to like that was like free Roman Polanski. So that's what I was gonna say.
Who was
which is-
also accused? No,
he
Like,
did.
He
Like,
did that. He lost
That's why he's not in America. He fled to where's he at?
in France.
Yeah, he's in France. It was some petition to like let him come back or some shit.
and he signed it.
Yeah, a bunch of actors did. I looked it up. I don't have my phone because it's charging, but
Let me see.
there's like this IMDb list of all the famous actors who did it. Surprisingly, someone who surprised me on that list was
Who?
Harrison Ford.
Really?
Yeah, he signed it. Natalie Portman, I think. But some of them were like, "Oh, my fault." They have like little like notes that'll be
I
like,
didn't
They'll be
know.
like the. Oh, I
no,
get
yeah,
you.
but it was mostly the women who were doing that. All the men were standing on their supposed business, being like, it's an IMDb.
Oh, it's because also Roman Polanski directed the Pianist.
yeah,
I
which
completely
he
forgotten.
won, which Adrien Brody won his first Oscar for.
Yeah.
So that's
Wow,
probably why
look,
he was
in,
like,
in the beginning of this year, they apparently asked him about Roman Polanski and his like defense of him in the past, and he avoided the question. He said that it's too complex to answer.
"Is it too complex?"
No.
Can you read me what Roman Polanski did? Like
Okay,
on
like
paper?
actually, so we're not just like saying shit like
Vaguely.
Roman
Like, well, I know
Polanski-
he did do fucking horrible things.
Yeah,
but
yeah, of course,
like,
but
you
like
know what I mean?
to
Yeah.
know, yeah. Roman Polanski's sexual abuse case. On March 10th, 1977, a 43-year-old film director, Roman Polanski, was arrested and charged in Los Angeles with 6 offenses against Samantha Gailey, a 13-year-old girl, of unlawful sexual intercourse.
And how old is he at the time?
43.
Good God,
Disgusting.
that's disgusting, bro.
And Adrien Brody, 2025 Oscar winner, was
Yeah.
like, thank you for this award.
I love him.
But that's why that's why people pointed out that Conan O'Brien joke, because people were
Yeah.
like, well, literally, look at that.
Yeah.
Like they're laughing at the expense of abusing a child.
I feel like I guess it was very telling in themselves too, where it's like they don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah.
Like I think it's just like Hollywood doesn't care that you touch children. Like
Yeah.
like everybody does it. We're
In
just
Hollywood.
acting.
Yeah.
Like it's not real.
Like the Clint Eastwood one, old enough for kisses.
That's crazy.
Bro, you know what I saw after when I mentioned that on that episode, all those weeks ago, where I talked about how Clint Eastwood kissed a little girl because he wanted to like be cool and shocking. I read that it wasn't rehearsed. The little girl was surprised when he did it, and I think to like this day she kind of doesn't really like it. Well, I mean, who would, right?
yeah.
But yeah. So you're right. Hollywood has a
Old enough for
Also,
kisses.
isn't what's his name? Adrien Brody, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Isn't he the one who like basically sexually assaulted Halle Berry on
Yeah.
TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's weird about that, I guess, is that, and you saw, if people listening or didn't, and you guys saw,
Yeah.
so Halle Berry did it back to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
What is that?
my
what is
my
that?
my thing with that is that I think she generally is traumatized from that incident.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That she thought, because this is how I see it. I see it that she was trying to reclaim that power, because she said like,
Mm.
oh, like I think she said it to his girlfriend, and she's like, I had to do it, like
Yeah.
I had to get him back, because I feel like she is a little slightly traumatized from that incident. At least this is just me. I don't know if she generally is, but I
Yeah.
think some people always try to do the same thing back to people just to be like, just to take back like
Some
what
kind
was
of,
stolen
yeah, I get you.
from them.
Yeah.
So I feel like she did that to kind of embarrass him in a way, because
Yeah.
she was like, you embarrassed me in like front of people, and I wanted to get back at you. And I think that's also just even more telling that it did affect her low key. On the low, I think she generally was like,
I mean, she's done an interview where she talks about it. I sent it to you where she said that she was really upset about it. That's why I was surprised she kissed him. But either way, like
Well,
whatever.
because I think it's accurate what you're saying.
Yeah,
though.
I
can see
agree.
that,
I
yeah.
agree. I just think irrespective of kind of what she did, like if she, because I've seen people say like she kissed him back, therefore it was okay the first time. I don't agree. I feel like it could still be wrong. I still think that's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Well, because
yeah.
I'm like, she could just be going with it, you know? Because it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, how would you look if you kind of just like rejected him like that in front of everybody, especially when they were at the Oscars?
Mhm.
And I think, because I feel like that's a true thing. Like when people are like sexually assaulted, like some people become, you know, like a lot more sexually active because they try to like, you know, reclaim that part of themselves that they lost. I think there's even like, I know there's another like celebrity, but Demi Lovato, like when she talked about that, I think her drug dealer like sexually assaulted her. She said that she called him back and she tried to have sex with him again because she wanted to feel that power again that he took the first time. So it's like, I think it's like a thing that like just
The break.
happens to
Yeah.
you where it's like, she looked, yeah, of course she looked like she was all laugh and all these things. But I mean, from the past of the way she's talked about it. And like, I think it's just a reoccurring thing. Cause like, how long ago was that she kind of had to do it again?
Yeah.
You know, and I think like, I get like there's the whole thing that people were talking about, you know, which was the other side of the story, which is like, oh, she kissed somebody who now has like a girlfriend. But I feel like the deeper part of that is that she generally was like sort of traumatized from that event. And I think she generally was just trying to I guess like, because I mean everybody was
Redemption in
like,
a way?
yeah, like her
Closure?
redemption, like yeah, something. At least that's how I saw it.
I agree. No,
and
I agree.
felt,
I think
and
you're
I
making some
and I
good
think
points.
I felt bad for her because I was like, it just made me feel like really bad for her because I'm like, I think she generally is still hurt from that incident.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Adrien Brody also like on just a tangent kind of. He has such this aura of like douchebaggery. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me. Like I swear I'm not even trying to hate. I'm just telling it how I feel it. There's something about the way he moves and he talks. Well, he got the record for longest speech in Oscar history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't even
And
a good speech.
I know it wasn't even a good speech.
Yeah.
Bro was just yapping.
Yeah.
And then on obviously people pointed out, and I don't think it's that deep either. You said it too when he throws the gum at his wife when he gets up there. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that deep, but I do think that's still like a douchebag
I did
thing.
not know that was Harvey Weinstein's ex. That's crazy. Wild.
Yeah, that has to be weird, right? Guilty by association, at least.
Yeah.
First, he defends Roman Polanski, who we did a movie with.
Yeah.
Second, he seems to have romantic, deep relationships with Harvey Weinstein's wife, ex-wife.
Who's in jail
Yeah.
for
currently.
like, what is it? Like he
Sexual
sexually
harassment
assaulted,
and assault.
sexual,
like
yeah.
basically hundreds of women,
Yeah.
basically throughout
Yeah.
his
And
career.
it's crazy because I think I said it to you guys where it's been known. I forgot. Was it the Oscars where they make a Harvey Weinstein joke and the whole crowd goes, ooh.
Yeah,
Because they're kind of being like, nah, don't disrespect.
wasn't
him."
it like in the 90s or something?
Yeah. So
What was the joke? It
I
was like-
forget. But a lot of people knew. Like a lot of people knew and were, what's the word? Defending it.
It's because
or-
it reminds me of. I think people defend it because it's the same thing as like when Trump said like grab her by the pussy, where they're like it's just locker room talk. Like it's just Hollywood, you know.
Yeah, I remember. What's his name? Tarantino said something like that, where he was like, "I thought it was just that old like the bosses being a little too grabby with the secretary."
Yeah,
You know, and he was like, "But I didn't think it was that crazy."
yeah,
Yeah, which, come on, bro. I don't.
Yeah.
I think even that statement.
Yeah,
is
for
just,
sure, for sure.
yeah.
But
for
I was
sure.
gonna say, with the Adrien Brody kiss, like I agree with what you're saying. Like I like all those points, but I think that's also like the grabbing a woman and kissing her thing is like, for one, like it's a trope, but it's also
Oh
wrong.
yeah.
Where's I going with this? Oh, do you know that famous picture, the one from the war where the sailor kisses the
Oh, yeah.
girl? You've heard about that, right? Where the woman
They have a statue of it in San Diego. I
yeah,
think.
where the woman they didn't know each other, and the
Yeah.
woman to this day, I think she always felt really upset about it that it was so popular because she didn't want it to
Really?
happen. Right? You've heard about
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
So the woman in that kiss she wasn't down for
So
that.
that's a statue of literally a woman getting sexually assaulted.
Yeah, you can look it up.
That's
That
crazy.
I think they
That's what I
tried to recreate it. Like somebody tried to track them down, and she was like, "No, what the fuck? I hate that picture." Right?
Mhm.
I
I think he was even like married, and that wasn't his wife. Or something
Yeah.
like that.
What?
Yeah. So long history of kind of that happening, where you grab some woman and assault her.
Yeah.
Like it's been normalized, unfortunately, in Hollywood, I would say. Like
That's true.
there's another. Oh,
Says suddenly I was grabbed by a sailor woman in iconic photo. Says kiss was forced.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then do you guys know the guy who sings Wicked Game? What a wicked
A game to play
Chris-
to make me
Chris
feel
something?
this way. Yeah, I know this
Did
song.
you guys see when he tries to do the same thing to Cameron Diaz?
No. Oh,
And there's
I
a
think
there
so.
I don't-
Vaguely.
I don't know what award it is. It's an award show, and he's up there with her, and he's trying to like kiss her, and she's literally like, "No, stop!" But he like forces it.
Yeah.
And then Jim Carrey goes up and like kisses him to like get him back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess where I was going with this is long history of that unfortunately happening. You know.
yeah. You were right. Okay, so just to fact check real quick.
Yeah.
It's true. It said the girl said that she found out later that he had a fiance.
Yeah.
I said I think at the time they probably were engaged already. They had come from Radio City Music Hall. They also heard that the war was over, so they just left the show. That's crazy. I had no idea that iconic, like, I guess, pose is basically a woman being forced to make out with a man.
Yeah. So that's why I agree with Julie's point, where it's like, I guess this is the point I was trying to make. There's like a long history of that being a trope, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so I can understand the pressure of having to go along with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like people, when he did that, or when people try to do that, they're referencing that photo, of course, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they're trying to force an iconic moment. And
Yeah, because I remember it is a trope though. Because I remember it happens in Drake and Josh. Do you remember Drake grabs a girl and like just starts making out with her?
Yeah.
And then Josh tries to do it, and then it's like it's kind of in itself a racy joke. Do you remember what it is? He grabs a woman himself and he makes out with her.
Is it she has a deep voice?
She has a deep voice.
and it
She's like-
implies she's a trans person.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like I wasn't chewing gum, and he has like gum in his
Oh,
in his
That's
mouth.
crazy.
That's crazy. That was just like 2006 too.
yeah, it's a crazy joke.
Yeah, and then it's crazy, bro.
But
So
yeah, fuck Adrien Brody, the whole Roman Polanski thing.
I hope he rot.
Yeah,
he won, bro. They should have given it to Timothy Chalamet.
He's also ugly as fuck. So
Adrien Brody. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking I heard the Great Unknown wasn't that good though. The movie.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
just like Timothy Chalamet.
I heard
he's
it
cool.
wasn't that good of a movie.
Well, I mean, people are also just upset because I guess didn't Adrien Brody use like AI? And
Yes.
then people were like,
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet did
Acted.
like
He sang
acted and like he
He
tried
spent
to
5 years.
to really try to be Bob Dylan and
Yeah.
like sound like him. And,
Yeah.
and he learned how to play instruments.
And he
but
gained
yet-
weight.
Yeah, and then fucking Adrien Brody's ugly ass.
He's got a
Yeah.
computer program to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I
he
don't know
can't. He
I
can't.
thought
act.
he was handsome. I thought he was like traditionally handsome.
No, he's not.
Adrien
No,
Brody.
he's ugly.
No, he's ugly.
I thought he was like traditionally. He had like that traditional man look.
I feel like he looks funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's what you, for me at least, it's what you said. I've also agree with he has douchebag energy.
I
So
think
I've
so.
always been like, this guy's a fucking douchebag. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't even before
Yeah.
even before you could have told me all the real like reasons
Yeah.
I should not like him. I could have been
Yeah.
like, he just had a weird vibe.
Yeah. Who I wanted to win was Rafe Fiennes. You know who that is, right?
The guy who played the priest, right?
the Pope. I like him as an actor. I think he's cool. So I wanted him to win.
Yeah,
The
he's in
guy
the chef.
who was
He's
The menu, I think.
he's what's that agent?
agent.
Fucking
Agent.
yeah, he's like a spy agent. 007.
No,
That's
no.
not him.
No, he's in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Are
He's
those two different guys?
you're thinking of the guy I'm talking about. He played Ramses in the Prince of Egypt.
Are you thinking about? Is he thinking about? She's thinking about like 007, the most
Dan-
recent
Daniel
Daniel Craig.
No, not that guy.
I don't know. I don't know their names.
No,
I guess they look alike.
no. Ray Fiennes is old though.
Yeah, Ray Fiennes is old.
Oh, James Bond.
No, he didn't play James Bond. No, but I like him. He's cool.
Yeah,
he's in Schindler's List.
I wanted Timothy Chalamet to win. Why not? Give it to him. He's a good actor.
I just never mind. I'll shut up now.
What are you gonna say?
I was just gonna be like, I heard the movie is not that good though, and I feel like for me, it always spoils the win when the movie isn't all that.
Like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, like when Rami Malek won.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like that movie wasn't even that good though.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I think that's like honestly, if you watch the movie, it wasn't that good. Oscars just have a hard on for biopics.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing too. I fucking feel like biopics have become I want my Oscar now.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
I will say, Timothy, I feel like that was giving like I want that Oscar because he did a biopic.
Yeah, and I feel like that's another thing. It's like I feel like the acting in this movie feels too sweat. You know what I mean? Like I feel like you're just being a sweat for that Oscar. Like when I like Austin Butler, like I like
when he lost Elvis and he was like, it took me therapy to get rid of the Elvis, mama.
I like Austin Butler's acting in Dune. Like he's really good in Dune.
He's really good.
I think he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, I think he's a good actor. But when he was like, "Hold on, mama, where's my Oscar, mama?" I was like, I don't know about that. I don't think you deserve it.
Hold on a second, mama.
Hold there, mama.
Where my Oscar,
you know what I mean?
mama?
I just don't you agree? I feel like when actors win for like movie, I'm like, whatever.
But like I guess this is literally what people point out with fucking when Timothy Chalamet. Go ahead.
Side thing is because he did this movie.
What movie is that?
I have no idea.
Isn't that James Bond?
But he's like
Spectre.
Isn't that him?
Who did
the one that he's talking about?
I don't have my glasses on. What's the name?
It's his name's Ralph Fiennes. That's the one he's talking
Ralph
about.
Fiennes.
Yeah, that's him.
What's the movie called? I've never seen it.
It's like a 007
movie.
That's not him. That's not Ralph Fiennes.
Then I don't know.
Fiennes?
Rafe Fiennes.
It's she's showing the picture of Spectre, James Bond movie.
That's Daniel Craig.
I
have no idea, but that comes out on his like.
Maybe he's part of it.
Maybe he's a villain in the movie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But that's not him. That's Daniel Craig. That's straight up. That's literally the poster of Daniel Craig.
I don't have my glasses. I can't see. I've never seen any of the 007 movies.
Yeah, but you've seen that poster. It's the one where he's wearing the white suit and
I've seen him in Made in Manhattan. He was good in that.
What is that, like a rom-com?
It's with Jennifer Lopez.
He's in that?
Yeah,
I fucking knew it.
He's like He's like the governor, and he like falls in love with Jennifer Lopez, and she's a maid.
Rafe Fiennes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like him. I think he's a good actor.
I liked him in that
so
movie.
Funny.
Yeah, no,
that's so funny.
You know what else? He did an interview talking about it where they're like, "Oh, do you think you're gonna win the Oscar?" And he was like, "Nah, probably not." They never give it. He said something that I thought was pretty cool, but I forgot what it was.
But I was just gonna point out how we're talking shit about Timothy Chalamet for trying to win that Oscar. But I remember when he won the SAG award, he was like, I'm in pursuit of greatness, and people were like, "Yes, we need to end the era of nonchalantness.
No, yeah, I agree.
Bring back caring and passion.
I agree.
And giving a fuck."
I agree.
When he said that he's basically like trying to reach like the top or something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in pursuit of greatness, in a room full of the greats, I'm pursuing greats like Marlon Brando, Viola Davis.
I saw people give him a lot of hate on TikTok.
Some people gave him hate. People thought that was an arrogant thing to say, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. He cares.
It was like interesting because like I tried watching the SAG Awards too, but I couldn't watch them either. But
if you thought the Oscars were boring, the SAG Awards will make you cry of boredom.
yeah. But yeah, and then the next day, I think after I watched it, because I didn't watch it live. I watched it was like on Hulu or something, and I watched it, and then the next day on TikTok, everybody kept talking about like how they hated what he said because they were like that's really like disrespectful and something like that. And then I watched what he said, and I was like,
that was pretty cool.
Where's the disrespect?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was actually a really good speech. You see, that should have been the fucking speech that won best.
Well,
best actor.
I also feel like no, but yeah, that's not my opinion. I feel like biopics have become I want my Oscar.
I get you.
Now, you know, and
because I guess is it because they're saying that they're trying to become this other person who was real?
I guess, yeah. I think people have this maybe this is just me. I feel like people have this association of like, wow, it was so good he became another person. You know what I mean? And
I believe that was him.
You mean acting?
Yeah.
All roles that actors do?
Do you? But you don't like those type of movies, right?
I like some of them, but like I said, I feel like some of them literally feel like this feels like it was made to be an Oscar. It's Oscar bait.
Mhm.
Like this was made so that the director could win Oscar, the screenplay could get, and the studio, the actor, everybody involved could try and get an Oscar.
Oscar rage
Do
bait.
you like Selena?
Yeah, Selena's good, but that's when I think biopic movies weren't so like
Yeah, like La Bamba and stuff.
like they weren't about what's it called?
Winning awards.
Winning awards, because La Bamba actually has like a deeper meaning too. Like we studied it.
Yeah, it's in a tour movie.
Yeah, it's
a creative
or like
outlet.
even Rocket Man, I think was pretty good. The Elton John one, where there's something
Or the Iron Claw.
You could tell there's something kind of being done there, other than like let's just try and get that Oscar, bro. Let's just try
Like
and get
this
that
actor wants that award.
The Iron Claw, Zac Efron should have won.
Yeah, the Iron Claw is really good.
I will actually say now, because at the time people were saying that, I was like, recency bias. But now that it's been a while, nah, he did a really good. He might have deserved that Oscar.
I believed he went through that suffering.
Yeah,
At the end when he's crying.
yeah, like those are. I used to be brother.
It's just
Yeah.
I see you guys and you guys are brothers, and I used to be a brother.
But I see what you
I'm
mean.
not a brother anymore.
Yeah,
I see what you mean. Yeah, I feel like that's why some of those have like lost my interest.
Yeah, like I really I know maybe a lot of people seemingly love it, but the Bohemian Rhapsody movie I did not think was good.
I just like the songs.
Yeah,
I just watch it for the song specifically.
I didn't even, and this is controversial. We could easily, I already see the comments coming in. I didn't even think his performance was that good.
I think
Yeah.
the only scene that I liked that wasn't the music, which it wasn't even a real thing that happened, but I
Yeah.
think it's when Freddie Mercury tells them that he has. I think he tells them, or they find out that he has AIDS,
yeah,
and they kind of just come together and they like hug.
yeah,
But I heard that actually isn't real because they actually never like made up or anything.
yeah. They hated each other.
They hated each other.
Well, because I had heard from that movie, another controversial figure, Sacha Baron Cohen. You know who that is? He's the guy who plays Borat.
He's got, I love my wife.
Yeah, he was supposed to play him originally, and he was talking about how in the script it was originally kind of more like an exploration of Freddie Mercury's character and how controversial he was.
Yeah.
But the rest of the band members kept trying to like shoehorn themselves in it and be like, nah. Like I think they originally pitched that they wanted it to where Freddie Mercury dies in the middle of the movie and the rest is about the band. And he was like, no disrespect, but like,
Who gives a fuck about you?
yeah.
Nobody knows you guys.
Yeah. So that's why also when I watched that movie is I felt like that movie was too like
Not centered on Freddie Mercury.
no, it felt too safe. Like they were afraid to like show who Freddie Mercury actually was.
Yeah.
Because he was like a queer icon. I feel like
it felt very like I know it wasn't a Disney movie, but it felt like a Disney movie. You know what I mean? Where it's like it was almost
It was a little censored.
I mean now it's a Disney movie, wasn't it? Because wasn't it made by Fox?
yeah, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like another good biopic I thought was really good was Straight Outta Compton. That's a good biopic.
Yeah, that one.
Because
is really
but
good.
I feel like and I think what that makes a biopic like that works too is they show like the climate at the time.
Yeah.
They show like there's I don't know, it feels like there's something important.
and this
being
is an
showed.
artistic like style that you feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did not feel that for Bohemian Rhapsody, and probably that's the criticism that a Quiet Unknown probably gets too.
Yeah, so I you know what I mean? I feel like there's stuff about with Straight Outta Compton where I thought was so important to like document and reintroduce the conversation about was like police. Like, you know, I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's something where I feel like when they made that movie,
and racism too. They talk about the police and stuff.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's what I find interesting. But with stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody, the Great Unknown or whatever, I feel like to me it felt like, Cause did you guys hear Bob Dylan wasn't even involved in the movie? He hadn't even met
Timothée
Chalamet, and they're like he's not really interested in it.
No.
Which you know
I'm sure they tried to. Probably Bob Dylan apparently is an interesting guy.
Yeah.
He probably was just like, nah.
But I guess to me, I feel there's a part of me that feels like if the guy you're making it about isn't even all that interested in the story, there's something about me that feels like it seems more cash
Also,
grabby than-
all respect to the
Yeah.
GOAT Bob Dylan, but who the fuck wants to watch a Bob Dylan biopic?
Yeah.
No offense.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah. So
He's
like
just
I know he's a
artist.
musician,
Yeah,
right?
he got that harmonica.
he's in We Are the World. Did you ever watch the documentary on We Made the We Are? No.
Have you seen that viral video of where Bob Dylan? Wait, is it Bob Dylan who
Yeah,
sings?
yeah.
And Michael Jackson's like giving them side eye.
Yeah. No.
You've never seen that video?
No, it's not
Oh,
Bob
no, it's
Dylan.
not Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan's the one who they show it, and he's not really singing.
gonna
He's
look him
kind of
up.
going like,
I know one of them, Cindy
Lauper.
That's the one where he's side eyeing, right?
yeah, because she's like,
Yeah. And we all believe
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it reminds me of the Robbie. It's the American version of the Robbie Williams movie where they made him a monkey.
Yeah. I heard that movie's actually good though.
Did you hear there's like a giant CGI like fight scene in it where they like the apes fight like mythological like creatures?
You know, a controversial take. I know people were very against that movie because I don't know. I guess
Which one?
It's the one with the monkey.
It's the one where it's a biopic of this England rock star, but the entire movie he's a CGI monkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like that movie seemed overhated. Like the hate seemed a little forced because I personally thought I didn't watch it, but I thought it looked interesting.
Mhm.
Like I feel like to
yeah.
me it was like it's doing something that I haven't seen.
Yeah, because
before.
you can't say two contradictory things. You can't say biopics are so boring and
Yeah.
like they've all been done before and they're
Yeah.
not creative, and then have a creative biopic and be like, man, fuck that movie.
Yeah.
It's weird. Why would they do that?
I want to
'cause
watch something boring.
Because
you know?
biopics are all the fucking same.
Did you guys ever watch the Johnny Cash one with Joaquin Phoenix?
No, but I know that's one of the people say it's like one of the best ones.
It's
No?
the same director who did Bob Dylan.
Oh,
That's why I think people were
What,
saying
hyped?
like, yeah.
oh.
Did you?
So I walked the line, right?
Yeah, walk the line.
Walk the line.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just my spiel on biopics.
You know what
Yeah.
that song's about? I guess one more tangent before we go more
About
into the
cheating,
Oscars. Yeah. You know what that song is about? I Walk the Line by Johnny Cash. He wrote a song to his then wife called I Walk the Line. You guys can listen to it right now. And the whole song is basically about him saying that no matter where he goes, he'll never cheat on his wife because he loves her so much.
Mhm.
And then he famously cheated on her.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Every time that song plays, I always think of that.
Yeah, but there was another controversial one about the Oscars, right, Julie? That I know you feel very passionate about.
Oh yeah. Well, I was just gonna ask you guys first. Did you guys ever watch Anora?
No.
I didn't watch it
No.
either.
I mean, I knew of it.
And it won Best Picture.
Yeah, I knew of it. I heard it's actually a good movie.
Anora?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the controversies too, like I was telling you guys before it, but I heard it was a good movie.
Somebody was saying that it reminds them of Uncut Gems, kind of.
Really?
Mm.
I liked Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I heard
good.
I heard Nora's a good movie.
Well,
I've just heard the controversy of
the controversy. I'm a little mixed. Well, I haven't seen the movie, so
Yeah.
take my words with a grain of salt. So you know what I mean.
Mhm.
But I saw the director talking about how he thinks sex work should be legalized, and I
Yeah.
agree. So I feel like if that's the attitude of the movie and about showcasing that, I don't know
Yeah.
what the movie's about. Is that what it's about?
Yeah, the main girl, which is the one who won, I think, Best Actress. I
Yeah.
think she's a stripper or
Mhm.
something. And I think she ends up marrying like a rich guy. But I don't know what he does directly.
Yeah.
But I think she ends up like marrying him. And I think it's just like, I think he's like a criminal or something.
Yeah.
And like, because he's rich and like a criminal,
Yeah.
I think her life is like in danger or something. Or like, it's just like the plot
Uh-huh.
or something about
Uh-huh.
that. But I haven't watched it either. It's just more
Mm.
of like what I saw on the internet. And
Yeah.
what I kind of just took away from the trailer, basically.
Bro, did you know the director? Because this is what was part of the controversy, and I think that you have the right to know this. The Sean Baker is the director, right?
Is it?
And let me fact check that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure before if in case the Nora director is someone else, or maybe I don't know, Julie. I don't know if you're gonna speak on this right now. Because I'm telling you, it's riddled a little bit. Yeah, it is Sean Baker.
Yeah. What did he
On
do?
his Twitter, so you know how he's talked about how
Yeah.
like legalized sex work and stuff. People say that like he is like a porn fanatic, but not in the like very liberating way. In the he's like a porn freak. On his Twitter right now, you could see he follows like hundreds of porn pages. I don't know if that was just to write the movie. And then on a second thing that people pointed out when they looked at that he also follows a lot of extreme right wing Twitter accounts like End Wokeness and like liberals of TikTok, like the biggest accounts that literally work with Elon Musk.
Really?
Yes, I
That's
could literally look
fucking
it up.
crazy.
Yeah, Sean
How
Baker.
does that even make sense?
I don't know.
I
That's how I'm like. Unless somebody else runs his Twitter account.
Oh yeah, that's
Maybe.
great. How did? Okay, so
Let me see. Let me fact check.
Because it reminds me of like those you know those like podcasts, like
Yeah.
that podcast that's always like being disrespectful towards women and like
which one?
No,
There's
like-
a lot of them.
like. But I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
you know those
yeah.
podcasts that are very
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
manly and masculinity and like and that like women should like attend to their like husbands and all that stuff. And you know how they like talk about that stuff. I always feel like those type of men are the type to say like, oh no, like women should like be this and that, but in reality they don't respect women. Like they see them as objects, and like if they were to like see like sexual stuff about them, they would enjoy that. But in like in front of people, they try to showcase that like they actually care.
Oh, it's all an act.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
So I fact checked it, and it's true. I showed it to Brandon, and then there's more in the comments. People are saying that he apparently called Mickey Madison a sexy teenager in a lot of the tweets, and has active tweets of defending Kyle Rittenhouse on Instagram. And he follows on Instagram a lot of anti-climate protests. And apparently he's liked, and this is obviously an allegation, I don't know if I can't fact check it myself, but apparently he's liked teenage girls like posts. He follows he follows a page called 5 out of 10 Gen Z Girls, which is just an account that makes fun of average looking women.
That's crazy.
So people are saying he's like a gooner. So it changes like the perspective of the fact that this movie is like, he's like pro sex work, right?
Yeah.
Because there's, I don't know, there's like a lot to kind of unpack from that. But it came out the day after actually he won the Oscar. People didn't know this before.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How come? I don't even know where to start. I feel like how come? Well, you think right? So like, let's say, well, for one, right? How do those two things coexist, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously he's lying about he's lying then that he actually cares. But you think you would unfollow or unlike certain shit? How come these people never do? Why are they always telling on themselves?
Well, because it's like, what are they gonna do?
Yeah, you're right.
Take away his Oscar?
Yeah, they're not.
Take away his money? I mean, Hollywood, like how you said, like Hollywood loves pedophiles.
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do to him?
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, especially like I think a lot of celebrities and like just people up like in these high places are also sex addicts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's not surprising. I mean, it's crazy, but it's like not surprising that it's like that and that they're not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah, like this Yahoo wrote an article about it, just titled, just to give him a shout out, Sean Baker's Oscar win sparks backlash over IDF bays and libs of TikTok controversy. And they said, it seems that his politics aren't that I truly care about sex workers and want a world where people don't have to resort to that, but more like I care about sex workers because I love that they have the freedom to do that. Like, I love porn. So I love, like, hell yeah, dude. Like, pro sex workers. But in a fetishizing way, I guess. In the same way we're like, don't deport the Latina baddies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't really care about them. You just fetishize them.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like.
That's crazy. That's disgusting.
It is, right? Because it changes, like, the whole thing of him being, like, legalized sex work and, like.
Yeah, well, for one, it like. I don't know. It's so
He's
layered.
doing it so he can benefit.
Well, it's so, for sure. That's one. But it's so layered because to me, it, like, how do I explain it? Like, it takes, to me, because when I had only seen the clip of where he says that. So to me, it takes the air out of that, like, because I was kind of like, oh, finally, like, on a mainstream stage, people are talking about, like, legalizing sex work and protecting women, only to find out literally a day later he actually is a fucking fraud and is, I don't know, it's crazy, disgusting too.
Yeah.
You know, I hope he rots.
Yeah. What the fuck? You know what's crazy, as I'm gonna say now, is I feel like the Oscars, I know people don't like the show, but I feel like the symbolic award itself now has been beyond cheapened.
Yeah.
I feel like so many people who are undeserving have won.
Yeah.
Bad people who don't deserve it in talent wise or like ethical wise have won. Or to me, I feel like at this point, I'm just like, what's even the point of that? It seems like who's the worst person award now? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
who's the worst
person here?
Well, because me and my coworkers were talking about it, right? Because like I had gone to the Grammys, right?
Yeah. And
like for a while, the Grammys have also been in like the same thing, where there wasn't like that inclusivity, the diversity within it. And they were trying, at least when I went, they were trying to emphasize that they're trying to work on it. Like they're trying to be better about being more inclusive and all that stuff. And I guess people say like, I guess this is a little shady, but people are saying that it was a little more inclusive because Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift didn't win this time. And so people are saying, like, there is that work being done, right? There is that work of, like, you know, younger artists and newer artists are being recognized now. Like, you know, like, you have Doechii, you have Sabrina Carpenter, you have Chappell Roan, right? That they all talk about, you know, current events and just things in itself, right? Of course, there's controversials within them, but it's like there's still that work being done, right? Like, there's still something there that is at least turning, right? Yeah. But, like, the Oscars still feels very old, like, old-minded.
No, for sure.
And, like, for sure, like, and what you've, like, told me before is that they seem very close-minded. Like, they're not open to anything. And, like, I think when they try to be, like, if, for example, the Adrien Brody thing, right? Like, they're trying to be inclusive by, like, letting him win even though he used AI, right? Like, they're trying to say, like, no, like, we are, like, look, like, we accepted this, right? Or, like, with the Anora stuff, like, they're being like, no, like, we're talking about, like, sex work. Like, we're saying that's, like, that should be, like, fine, right? And then with the Emilia Perez, right? Like, they're saying, like, oh, we're being inclusive. Like, we're having, you know, like, we're talking about, you know, like, Mexico and, like, just women and, like, transgender people and, like, all that stuff. But, like, in reality, they don't care about those things. Like, it's just to say that they're, like, you know, changing their minds and, like, becoming, you know, better people when in reality, they don't care. Like, I mean, we're basically, like, right now saying, like, every single movie that has won, there's something completely wrong with every single one of them still.
Well, for sure.
And, like, there's, like, they're saying that it's fine, but it's like, no, like, it's all just completely wrong.
It's like their inauthentic motivations are coming back to bite them in the ass. Because you could, if they were actually authentic, they probably would have realized that fucking what's his fucking name? Sean Baker is actually a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, and even
they wouldn't have.
And even then, like it's the fact, and I know we were gonna get this, but it's the fact with, like, Emilia Perez that was even allowed to be there. Because it's like, it's a French director who doesn't care about Mexico, who doesn't care about the people, and, like, and especially his movies about transgender people, and he doesn't care. He legit said in that conference where he was like, where they were like, oh, you didn't talk about, like, you know, transgender people. He's like, I didn't win, so why would I talk about it? Like, why would I say anything? And it's just like, oh, just because you didn't get your little award for your stupid ass movie that you're like, I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck?
But, you know, it's crazy. I guess moving on to Emilia Perez a little. But then when Zoe Saldana did get her award, she doubled down and was like, I'm sorry, the Mexicans felt that way. I'm sorry you feel that way. But that's not what I intended to do. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Did you see the clip?
Yeah, I did. Which also is disappointing considering Zoe Saldana is Latina. She's Dominican, right?
Yeah.
Which sucks. Well, that's another thing that's so layered. If you're gonna constantly disrespect Mexico and the Mexican people, then stop fucking making movies in Mexico or setting them in Mexico. You know what I mean? Because I saw she said that Mexico was not the heart of this film, right, for her. But I'm like, well, clearly it was for so many people. You know what I mean? Like, then why set it there? Why have it be like that? I don't know. Just why have it be that? Like, it's kind of like when people talk about Euphoria, when they're like, it's kind of weird that they're all high school kids, and people are like, nah, it's not, because they're not. Then why have them in high school? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, then why
just say they're in college or something, or like, this is their normal life.
Like, why is it? You know what I mean?
Go ahead, Julie.
No, because I was gonna say, like, especially that statement where she's like, this isn't about Mexico, right? And like what you said, like, then don't set it there, because if, like, the story or the plot or what she said that the reason that it was about the 4 women, then I guess the setting doesn't matter, right? Yeah. But then why put it in that exact same place where like what they were talking about was like what is actually happening in Mexico? Yeah. Like, and so then why would you have it there? Like, how can you say that part of the setting isn't part of the story when it's like it's what is currently happening in that specific place?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like if they made a TODO CHIDO podcast movie and they're like, we feel really offended. I feel like this doesn't represent us. Whoa, this movie's about podcasting. It's not about you guys.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Well, I've never seen the movie. I had no interest in seeing after I saw Selena Gomez's trash ass acting and that shit.
It's crazy. That's actually that's like, I don't. There must be an award for most, like, rage bait movie of the year.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause
It has to be that one.
Well, the other thing that I've also been seeing about that movie is that people are saying that she's supposed to be bad in that movie.
Like a bad actor?
Like she's supposed to be a bad singer and like a bad like Spanish speaker because like she's somebody who doesn't know
Should we
Spanish
watch
or
it
whatever.
No.
just to hate on
I
it?
don't want to give it like more attention because
Yeah.
I
I
feel
I feel like this is the only time. This is the last time I'm gonna talk about that movie because like
You don't want to give any more energy?
I'm just more pissed at the fact that it even made it to the
I just can't
Oscars.
believe Zoe Saldana really doubled down because like that's even if it wasn't like in the sphere of movies and celebrities and interviews and stuff, just human to human, that's just a shitty thing to say to somebody, to like you hurt somebody's feelings and then be like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah.
Like not take any
But I
accountability.
don't. But she's like, but I don't.
Yeah.
And I think the other part that like made me mad about that specifically, or like her saying that, is because I feel like I've always been I never understood why people like if you're not part of that community, why you don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
Like, cause I'm like, I guess she's Dominican, right? But it just sounded like she was just saying like, oh, I don't care what happens to Mexican people. Like, I'm Dominican. It's not part of my problem. But I never understood that because it's a consistent thing. Like it's even with us, right? When we talk about stuff with Mexico, right, or whatever, and then people are like, oh, but you're not talking about like what's happening with like Puerto Rico and like all these things, or like, or no, when we talk about Puerto Rico and people are like, you're Mexican, why are you talking about that? Like, why does it matter to you?
Yeah.
But it's like it's supposed to matter. It's harming human beings.
Yeah,
like
basic
it's just
human
harming.
empathy.
It's just harming people.
Yeah.
And it's just like what you're doing, what you guys talked about. And again, I don't know fully again about the movie, but I know that it talks about just like the current events that are happening in Mexico, right, with the cartel or whatever. And I think there's a lot of women who get harmed in Mexico directly through all those things, and plus a lot of things, right? There's feminine sides or feminicides.
Femicide.
Like those are things that happen to women in Mexico, and it's just like she just dismissed all of that by like what she said.
Yeah.
And because she was like, I'm not, and especially because her acceptance speech was about her being Dominican, so
Yeah.
it was like that plus what you said after is just saying that you don't care because you know
Yeah.
they're Mexicans, and especially the reporter was Mexican, and she's like, I don't care what you think, like you're Mexican, I'm Dominican, like I don't really care about what's happening to you and your people.
It was such like an arrogant way of answering the question because it felt like, why are you ruining my moment right now?
Yeah.
Like with your feelings, with this question that you just want to make me upset.
Yeah.
Because the way she responded was very passive aggressive. She was, I think, like just reading her body. I felt like she was kind of upset that they were even asking her that.
I think it's also, think for me, what also upset me about seeing that was how hard is it to really give a decent answer,
to at least even fake it.
Like, well, to me, like, let's say you genuinely don't understand the outrage, right?
Yeah.
You would think you would say, you know what? I understand that this is a community that is hurting right now, given the administration, the deportations, the representation that's being shown of the Mexican people and the lies being spread about them. I understand how strongly they feel, you know. I'll educate myself. You know, something like you like to me, I'm just like, how can you not understand why people are upset? I feel like anyone with a brain would be like, you know what, I get it. Yeah. I get why people are upset, you know, like this and that. But for her to be like, I don't know what the fuck people are talking about. Is
well, because I think the crazy part too was the fact that at first it was all about Selena Gomez, right? And like her accent and her acting or whatever. And for a good while, Zoe Saldana wasn't getting anything. Yeah. Like, and nobody was talking about her. They were just like, oh, she's in it, but whatever. And then she like did this whole entire thing, and it was like, no, you're also a terrible person too, who was in this movie. So rightfully so, because even the girl or the person who plays, I remember her name, Carla something, but she's like transgender. Supposedly she's also very like controversial too. Yeah. Which is like they made because I think she tweeted like stuff. And which they made fun of her at the Oscars too. Yeah. And they were saying that there was
shocked she was there.
Yeah. So it's just like everybody in that movie is just shitty.
Yeah. Well, because I didn't know this. I saw it come up because of all the conversations being had about Zoe Saldana was how she played Nina Simone.
Oh,
Have you
yeah,
seen
I
a
saw
picture of
that
her?
too.
Look it up. Zoe Saldana and Nina Simone.
Nina
I've seen it too.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Simone.
Nina Simone, yeah. Right?
Let me
She apologized for playing Nina Simone. And she was like, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Because they, yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. So basically, they put her in what people consider blackface, and they gave her a prosthetic nose and all that. And so, yeah.
She said she apologized for it. She deserved better.
She said, my fault.
She said,
Yeah.
my fault.
But
Yeah,
for
so
this,
she's been
but
caught-
for this, she's like, no.
You know what I kind of want to do? I want to do that other guy's shit where I want to almost watch. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. I probably won't. But I almost want to watch Emilia Perez just so I can up my hater game.
Get the pirated version.
Yeah.
I know, up my hater game.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm seeing. You know, like
Yeah.
the other guys. You know when he's like he learned ballet just so he can
The
hate
hate.
on people
Yeah.
who take ballet even better. Like, see, it's so fucking easy. I want to watch Emilia Perez just so I can be like pinpoint exactly what the fuck.
I seen everybody
you
making
did.
fun of Zoe Saldana for mommy.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Oh yeah, I saw the one on Twitter that had me dying. It's literally a 2-second clip, and it's literally just a tweet, and the tweet says, "Here she fucking goes," and it's the part where, and so she's about to cry, and then it just keeps replaying.
Yeah, but it's just it just made me mad because it's also like, I think I think in her acceptance speech she talks about immigration, and I think especially now with like with the way she did that that after thing, I feel like it wasn't genuine.
Yeah.
I think she was just trying to do that thing again where she's like trying to be in the good light, kind of like the
Yeah.
director.
That is interesting.
Where he's like, where he talks about, no, like we like sex workers and like all these things, and I work with them, and like I think they deserve, rights and all these
Yeah.
things or whatever. I feel like she did the immigration thing the same way, where she was just using it to like be good.
Yeah.
Because I think also it's just like, I think she's very well aware of the the political climate and everything that is currently happening, especially to Mexican people.
Yeah.
And I think for her to say like the immigration stuff was kind of like a slap, and then the stuff that she said after it was another one.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
in her
if
speech
you're
she
saying
said
that you've lived through it, that your parents are immigrants,
Yeah.
and like you've said that yourself, but yet you can't give the sympathy to like these other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she said she's the first Dominican American to win Best Actress, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just funny because she's pointing out like this Latino identity, this Latino landmark, as if to kind of allude to the fact that she's an ally.
Yeah.
She so easily was like, I don't give a fuck about Mexicans. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's not what she said for reals, but
That's basically kind of
that's basically what she said.
Yeah, I mean, I think this Oscars. I mean, I like Conan. That's more why I tuned in. I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like the Oscars just suck now, and I don't mean the show. I mean the Oscars themselves. I feel like they seem so cheapened and so tainted by all the people who they hand them out to. Like that's another thing that I've been kind of feeling like the whole Oscars seems so icky because it's always just people who are controversial, lame, suck, and I don't know, just bad people.
I think every single one of them is bad.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like
Oh, the awards?
every single one of like the actors and actresses has some shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess some of them are a little more extreme than others.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, there's one where he's a pedophile
Apologist?
apologist.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who just they're home wreckers.
Yeah.
There's some people who are
I think about
racist,
Cynthia
Yeah.
and Ariana Grande.
and then there's some people who are just racist.
You know what? Now that you
Like-
pointed that out, I guess this year did have the most controversial
Well, I think,
nominee.
Well, because it's like, but that's what I'm saying. Like the extreme is different, right? Because Adrien Brody is dating
For sure.
Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife.
Sean Baker won after being like
Crazy
What's her
Gooner.
name?
crazy cool.
Zoe Saldana is like racist and I don't know, xenophobic, I guess.
Yeah.
He said, I guess.
Cynthia Revo is kind of the same way. I think she's spoken about like basically like African Americans and all that stuff. Ariana Grande is a homewrecker.
She didn't win at least.
Who else was
She
there?
was. I didn't even know she was nominated.
Yeah, she was nominated.
She was nominated for supporting.
I thought it was just Cynthia who was nominated.
She was, I think, like the main actress. And then who else was there? Who else were we talking about?
And then Flo.
Selena Gomez is a Zionist, and
she's a Zionist.
That's what people say. They say that her makeup line donates to a lot of like.
But there was, I guess, some silver linings in the cloud. Like, what was the documentary that won? This Land. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So there were some silver linings.
And Selena. Oh, I saw that one too, where they were saying Selena Gomez and Samuel L. Jackson were also like annoyed by the people who won.
I think
when I was watching it live, and I remember that's what my girl was saying. She's like, I know she's steaming back there.
I think Hollywood, I mean, I guess for a while, just everybody seems gross.
Yeah.
Like it seems like a giant room of people I would not want to spend time with.
I think they all are because of just everything that's happened and everything that they kind of just let slide.
All drug addicts, weirdos, pedophiles, gooners. They just, I don't know. That's why watching the Oscars, I was like, this seems like genuinely the bad person award.
I remember watching it, and then and I told you, like, after the animation one, I wasn't that interested in it anymore. I did still try, like, I was watching it in the living room, and then I want to go watch it in my room. And then I couldn't watch it in my room because I thought you could watch it on Hulu, but I guess something happened where it wasn't working anymore. And then after that, I was like, low-key, I'm not interested. I was like, the only one that I was interested
low-key,
was
the Lakers are playing right now.
Was like the animation one, and I saw it, and it lost, and that was it. And then towards the end of the night, I saw who won and all that stuff, and I was like, I'm so glad I didn't watch it because I would have just been mad the whole entire time.
I can't believe Adrien Brody won, bro.
I can't believe Brody won either.
Yeah, what a lame.
They should give it to Timothée Chalamet, even if he was thirsting for that Oscar.
Yeah. But I guess like on that note, there's something that I wanted to bring up was kind of like in response to maybe a little bit this, but I'm not trying to call anybody out. I really am not. If it's more because something that's been sticking with me is when people say I'm not trying to get political, or like that people are like afraid to get political. I don't know. I was just thinking about that because I was like, I wonder kind of why, and I was reflecting on the times when I kind of felt that way, kind of like shy about saying certain things.
Yeah.
And I guess what also added to that was how I don't feel that way at all now.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people like, I'm not trying to call people out, but when I hear people say like, I'm not trying to get political, whatever, like to each their own. I'm not going to force anybody to say anything they don't want to say. Right. But there's something inside of me that's like, I can't relate anymore. Yeah. Like I feel like to me, when we talk about this stuff, it doesn't feel political, like we're talking political. It feels like we're just talking normal. Yeah. You know, it doesn't feel like we're doing anything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that does.
And so I was kind of trying to like investigate why that happens, like why if there was like an origin for where that came from. There isn't really like a singular one, but what I found is that there's always kind of been like a pattern where there's something in going on in pop culture or whatever it is in society going on that makes people afraid. Like in the 50s, it was McCarthyism. And people were afraid to be considered a communist or, shit like that. Or in the early 2000s when 9/11 happened and, there's that patriotism movement. And now it's cancel culture. People are afraid of doing that. And so I guess that's something I think about a lot is why people are afraid to be political. Because I feel like, to me, everything's political. Yeah. At least in the modern day. Yeah. I can't think of anything that doesn't have political roots or ties. Uh-huh. And it reminds me of... how people consider it rude to discuss wages with their coworkers. But if you know about that, people say you should discuss wages with your coworkers because you'll often find that there's a lot of pay disparities between you and your coworkers. Yeah. And the whole reason they tell you it's rude is because the CEOs don't want you to talk about it because then they'll have to pay everybody the same, right? Yeah. So, and in the same way, I feel that way when people say like, oh, let's not get political, let's not talk. Because to me, I'm like, the only people who are benefiting from that are the people who in charge, right?
Yeah.
Like the government officials who don't want you to be political.
Yeah.
Because then if you have a civil discourse, you can be like, well, actually, I feel like we have the same problem when we get down to the root. So that's just kind of, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I feel like people nowadays maybe don't want to get political because they don't want to realize that they actually are like some sort of phobic.
Yeah.
Like they're homophobic or they're racist. People don't want to admit that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think people are scared because how you said, like, it's cancel culture right now.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you say is going to get you canceled, or like, you know, that people are going to like have that hate for you.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that too. And I saw a TikTok that talked about it where it's like, I'm also tired of people always saying like they don't want to get political. And they're like, I'm not asking you to like go vote. Like, I'm not asking you to like switch sides or anything. I just want you to know, I just want to be aware that you have this empathy for people, for human beings. Like, that's all I want to know, is that you actually just care for these people. And if you don't, then that's like something for me to know that you don't. Or like we can talk about it, but it's just like, I just want to know like what your feelings are and what your thoughts are. I'm not telling you to like go to a protest, go vote, go do all these things. Like, I'm not asking you to do that.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see if you have this sort of empathy the same way I do.
Yeah. Because I was going to bring that up too, because you talked about it with the Trump inauguration, which I'm surprised you haven't brought up yet, is, which I guess I will now, is when he talks about ending woke. And we've talked about woke before, the word, how it was basically hijacked by white people, because if you're actually educated on woke, what woke is supposed to mean, it doesn't mean what they're trying to make you think it means, right? And I think that happened with cancel culture, because we've talked about it before. I don't think cancel culture is like a real thing, so to speak, in terms of like people lose everything. And I don't know, they make it sound like you get exiled from things. Like when Elon Musk said they're trying to make comedy illegal, I have not heard a single comedian lose a special, lose their publicity, or lose ticket sales. If anything, they get more publicity, they get more deals, they get to name their comedy specials. I was not canceled, or some shit like that, right? And so I feel like when people talk about the fear of cancel culture, to a degree, maybe I understand, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't think anything happens. I think they're just trying to sell to you that something will happen.
I mean, and especially in like 2025, cancel culture is basically quite the opposite. I'd actually say that saying something more left-leaning would bring more of an uprise, because there's so many conservatives now in media and entertainment and in the industry. Like, I think you saying that like you stand for LGBTQ rights is actually really controversial now in 2025 because of the administration, because so many people came out and said that they're conservative, you know? So I'd actually say if cancel culture didn't already not exist, especially in 2025, it's like next to nothing.
Yeah, and I guess to me,
I guarantee, I'm sorry. I just mean like one last point. Because especially I really think that because we have a podcast and we are more like left-leaning, like liberal, I generally think that just literally saying that basic humans deserve basic human rights to a lot of people feels offensive. And it's not because, I guess, well, maybe they do disagree, but more in the sense they think that that's like, you're an extremist.
Yeah.
So you're an extremist, so you believe in like, basically like, because I don't agree with everything that you're saying, like I'm like littler than you.
But I think with what I'm trying to say too with cancel culture is that when I say that, I think people in power hijacked it. Like, I think when Elon Musk or Donald Trump talk about it, I think they hijacked what it means. Like, I think they're trying to sell it to you that disagreeing with somebody or saying like, I think that's wrong. Yeah, you can't do that. Like, you know what I mean? When Elon Musk said, "Oh, they tried to make comedy illegal." Whenever like a cancel culture movement or somebody brought up something like when Dave Chappelle did something about when he was talking about trans people and people were upset about the way he talks about trans people sometimes. To say that that's making comedy illegal, I think is literally hijacking that. Yeah. Like, I feel like people are allowed to disagree and say, actually, I think you're not educated on what you're talking about, and I think you should be educated on what you're talking about. And to say that is trying to make something illegal, they're hijacking it. They're trying to make you think that when you disagree with something, or you're trying to re-educate people, or that you're like, there's actually more nuance to that, that you're being a bad person. That's why I hate when people are like, we can disagree in peace and like we can have different opinions and this and that. But I'm like, I feel like you don't want that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to like when people are afraid of being like political or something like that, I feel like I don't understand, because I think a lot of our existence is political now.
Yeah.
Like our parents are immigrants, so how can you not like if I'm to say like, no, I stand with my parents, you know, or I stand with your parents, or I'm against people separating families. Like to say like, oh, let's not get political. I feel like to me, I'm like, but that doesn't even, that just seems like you should say that, no?
Yeah.
Or like with women, right? Where women, they're trying to take away rights, or they've been taking away rights. I feel like women should deserve the autonomy of their bodies. So when people are like, nah, don't get political, bruh. Like, let's keep things whatever. I'm like, but what do you mean? Like,
It just feels like, no, I get what you mean, but like, I guess it's multi-layered for me, because I don't know why. I'm really trying to think like why people don't want that, because I really don't think there's an answer that satisfies me.
No, for sure.
There's nothing that really satisfies it for me. But on top of that, moving on a little bit, I guess in a weird way, when people say I don't want to get political, like you said, because to me it's not politics. To me it's just life. To me, this is just a combo that we have casually, because I think it's important that people have empathy for other people. To me, when people say, let's not get political, what they're really saying is, why don't we just get distracted? Why don't we just talk about celebrities and what's going on in like sports and stuff? It just sounds like you're advocating for ignorance. Yeah. And I know that sounds like so pretentious in a way. But to me, it really does feel like let's not get political is like, let's just talk about shit that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I don't think that's pretentious. I think it's kind of like when I brought up the like wage thing. Like, I think that I don't think that there's like a dedicated movement. I don't think the military or like the CIA came out and started planning these things. But I do think they see it happening and they benefit from it and they fan the flames of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think they reinforce that because like, if you're in power, why would you want people to get political or talk about these kinds of things? Like with like all the Oscar stuff that we're talking about, so much of it is political in nature. Yeah. And I feel like they obviously don't want you to talk about it, because then when you do, you realize all these people who won are shitty fucking people. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're terrible people. Point,
yeah.
Right?
Because you could say that, like, no, we've been talking about the Oscars the whole time, and I guess you could say it's politically driven. And somebody could come in here and be like, why don't we talk about the Oscars and let's leave the politics out of it? But it's like, but leaving it out of it makes you completely oblivious to what these people do. Sean Baker went up stage and said that he's pro-sex work, but in real life, he doesn't seem like he's an ally. He's a guy who fetishizes these people. It takes away the context of who these people are and their awards and like the significance of them winning this award.
Yeah. Well, I also think too. What do you know? How, it's kind of like a paradox. You know, and bear with me with this example. You know how people want to be nonchalant so bad. Yeah. I feel like when you try so hard to be nonchalant, you're not being nonchalant. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like when people are, all the people who say I'm not trying to get political, most of the time, like the people who are in power or celebrities and stuff like that, generally they do end up being super political. Yeah. They're just trying to not, they're just trying to hide that they actually have pretty extreme or like crazy views. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing I think about is
for sure people don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, but the one thing I like though is I do sympathize with people who don't want to be wrong. Like I don't think you should be getting out there and spitting out misinformation. But I liked the woman the actress who plays the Angel on Pose, India Moore. Yeah. I like what she said. She went on this podcast and they talk because she's very political. She talks about the Palestine and obviously a lot of trans issues. She said, like, I'd rather be wrong, but because I'm trying to help people or be on the side of rights than not say anything. Yeah. And I personally, I really resonated with that. Because to me, I'm like, yeah, I feel like personally, I would rather be wrong trying to, like, you know, help people in the best way. Like, obviously, I could see, you know, there's obviously, what's
nuance.
Nuance to that.
Our word of the week.
Yeah, I feel like it's, because what you said, like, the example that you said about how when you're with your coworkers, right,
Yeah.
and you discuss wages, right, it helps you to figure out like who's being treated unfairly. And I feel like when you say you don't want to get political and all that stuff, like, I mean, how you're saying like, oh, they're trying to do that because that benefits, the bigger man, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it is important to like have those, because it's like then you get to know their stories. Like for us, right? Like we'll tell them our stories about what we kind of lived through with our families, and just to have some sort of understanding of like why everything that is being said on TV is wrong.
Yeah.
It's just so you can learn. Like I understand if you're not aware of that, and that's very justified because you don't live it,
Yeah.
And I think being able to discuss that with people is like what helps us kind of, what benefits, just us or the people who are being affected by the current, state of the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's like important. But I do see why people don't want to do it, because how I said, like, I think people don't want to admit those things that they probably are. And I'm not saying that all of them are like bad. Some of them probably aren't aware of that stuff, but I think people are aware, and like in that thing of like, they don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to say the wrong thing. And then that entirely just depicts their whole character.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think the biggest part is just knowing that you're open to like hear about it and like not fully shut it down.
Yeah.
Well,
because I think I was just thinking about it so much, because I'm like, I sometimes, given the Oscars, I personally, like, I love when people speak out, like, but I sometimes hate that it's such a big deal when they do. You know what I mean? I feel like this should be a very common occurrence to discuss these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when a celebrity just kind of throws it out there, like, what do you like, without, fake, what's the word I'm thinking of when people do something fake, inauthentically. When people inauthentically throw out these
clout.
when they throw out stuff inauthentically, I'm like, I hate that it's so shocking or so like moves so much waves, because I feel like that's such a basic and they don't care, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like if people talked about it more, it wouldn't be so taboo. Because I think a lot of stuff, like I was thinking about like cartoons, right, or like kid shows. Mr. Rogers, everybody talks about the Mr. Rogers episode when he plays in a pool with the mailman, who was a black man. And it was a huge deal back when it aired, because they had never really showed like, a black man and a white man.
Yeah.
Because remember, we've seen it in school when black people would be in white pools, they'd pour bleach in the pools. You know what I mean? But when you think about that, I'm like, but that doesn't even seem political to me, to be able to show that like, oh, actually, this is okay. Or Sesame Street, when Sesame Street does stuff like that, or I always think about those kinds of things, because I'm like, they always have such lasting impact, and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's mostly what I had to say.
Yeah, I mean, good. I mean, because you give me a good question to ask. I just think I need to ponder, like you.
No, for sure.
I think I need to ponder why people would say that. Because to me, I think the things that are sticking out right now, but I'm not satisfied with, are one, I think people feel tension, like when politics are involved, and so they feel like right now they don't want the tension. Or two, because we live in a capitalistic society that fortunately is getting worse every year. People want to be ignorance is bliss, right? They want to feel some sort of peace for a couple of minutes and not see all the ugliness of the politics, I guess, in the country. But like the reason I don't feel satisfied with either of those is because I don't know. It just feels like I don't think that's why people say that though.
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel like it's that deep for people for the most part.
Yeah.
I think some people are just uncomfortable about it, or just
for
aren't
sure.
educated about it.
No, but that's what I mean. I think it's like the wage thing. I think there's a few people who like built in that's rude, and I think it just lasted.
Yeah.
So now everybody's like, I mean, it's supposed to be rude, right? To ask somebody like what you get paid. So like you said, I don't think it's that deep for everybody. I think some people for sure just like, I mean,
I think some people for sure just probably like, I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I just don't care.
Yeah, and I think that's that. But that's what I'm talking about is like, that's why I was trying to look at the root, because I'm like, I think for sure there's more often than not there's people who are just like in that thing where it's like, I mean, why?
Yeah.
Like, you just don't, right?
Yeah.
But
there's probably a lot of reasons, and some of those reasons are hybrid reasons of other reasons.
Yeah, but that's why I was looking for the root, because I feel like when you go back to the root, it doesn't make any sense.
I think that's a really good eye-opening kind of revelation of, you're right, it is I think almost taught in our system of like it's rude to talk politics, or you don't want to talk politics at the table.
It's too serious.
Or like even saying what party you were from.
Yeah, it's too serious.
Or when people are like keep politics out of sports and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's like, you're right, that's definitely implemented in there, so people don't realize that a lot of things that you should ask questions about is because they're actually terrible things.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's so crazy. Like when people say keep politics out of sports, like when Colin Kaepernick took a knee, there's once upon a time.
I said that,
there's once upon a time where black people couldn't even play in sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why. And when that was happening, people were saying, "Come on, guys, let's keep this out of sports. We don't need black people to play sports. Let's keep it out of here."
Yeah,
and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, I get what you mean by like, but there's almost like there needs to be another word to describe that, because that's almost not politics. That's just like life.
Yeah, that's why when people say that, I'm like, I feel like we need to like dissuade or evaluate what we're talking about, because I'm like, I feel like most of the things fit that description. You know, sports, TV. Like TV used to be super political. We learned about it in school, Amos and Andy and all those things. Martin Lewis, like when there was the first black person on TV or shit like that, and just whatever it is. I feel like everything is, you know, at this point. No?
Yeah, and it always has been.
Yeah, so that's just
it always has been.
Yeah, this is more.
We're humans with we're very emotional, and
I don't know. Did I sound like Jaden Smith during that segment? Can we talk about the political?
I don't think so. I don't think you sounded like Jaden Smith.
Can we talk about the political?
I don't think.
For a while, I had been seeing that TikTok everywhere.
Bro.
Oh yeah. No, I don't think so. I know that when I mentioned though keep politics out of sports, I was like, you're about to rant for another 30 minutes, because that one's even like
Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, because
that one's even. I think there's a lot more to even say about that. Like when LeBron was like, oh, actually, I'll just let it.
When they told LeBron to shut up and dribble.
Yeah, I'll just let it be, because we could have a whole other podcast just about politics and sports,
like music, everything.
Yeah,
because
Jackie Robinson,
it's in everything.
School, entertainment, sports, school.
It's in currently now when like Trump signing the whole thing about no transgender people in sports, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, because it's in every small thing. Literally, like if we met a stranger right now and there's like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go get groceries, like, man, these fucking egg prices, dude. And it's like,
there's a reason why.
Yeah, like everything is connected to it. Like it's life.
Yeah, it's the way it's the way people live their lives, you know?
Yeah.
How can you not talk? That's why sometimes when people say that, I'm like, I feel like it's almost harder to do that. You know?
It's harder not to talk about it.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
Because I feel like at a certain point, I'm like, oh, wait. Because
that's what I mean by like, you're basically saying, let's just be distracted and talk about stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like that. In a way, that's more boring.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's in a way harder to do.
No, because you're right. You're so right. Sports, the prices at the store, food, TV,
the clothes you
wear, everything. The environment you step outside.
Even the language we speak.
Like the fucking fires that just happened. That's a political issue that was happening. How Karen Bass fired the fire thing.
It's like, man, it's hard to breathe out here. Bro, please don't get political right now.
You know, so that's why sometimes I'm like, I feel like at a certain point, you got to rip up that taboo of that's, because I think once you pass it, you realize, actually, I don't think we're doing anything crazy. I think, but that's why I don't blame people. I think it's like, because I think people hijacked it. I for sure think people in power were like, nah, just fan the flames. Like, make it. Nah, that's rude. That's weird. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, talk about the latest Audi 8000.
Where are my pants? Yeah.
Where are my pants?
Yeah, but that's all I really have.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You never seen the Lego movie? Do you remember? It's like a bit where Emmett, the main character. You never seen the Lego movie?
I probably have. I just don't remember.
It's like
the guilt that came over you. You were like,
It's like a bit that they do where
he watches TV.
Where he talks about how the evil guy in the movie Lord Business. He's like, he's a good guy. He owns everything: history books, voting machines, all the food, the TV station. He's like, wait a minute. And the joke is that they want you to watch this same stupid show called Where Are My Pants so that you don't.
And it's always the same plot. And it cuts to the TV show and it's just a guy with only underwears on. And he's like, honey, where's my pants?
Yeah, and
That's
it's,
like right now. He was like,
and the bit is supposed to be that they want you to watch that shit so that
it's
you're
dumb. It's nothing. It's
so
there's
that-
no value in there.
so that you don't realize that Lord Business is a bad guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's no value in that show. So that's why
Yeah.
right now he was like, where's my
It's like when they say when something political was happening, but then you hear something about like the Kardashians.
the Drake and Kendrick beef?
The Kardashians?
Yeah.
Was that on purpose?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bro, we finally, guys, we have our own psyop bots.
Oh yeah, we did.
We have our own. There's like bots like
Bro,
harassing
I
us.
thought it was fake that Timothy Chalamet was with Kylie Jenner. When he was there, I was like, oh shit, they actually are together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know it seems like it'd be fake. She has kids.
I guess
But people are saying it's
Are they-
the curse, and that's why he's not winning.
they're the same. They're the same
Aw.
age, right?
I don't know. I don't know anything about
I'm
it.
pretty sure they are.
I
They
don't know.
look like they're the same age.
I feel like they don't. I feel like she looks older than him, even though she's probably younger than him.
Well, it's because I have like X-ray vision, so I look beyond the work she got done, and she looks the same age as him. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe because I grew up in LA, my eyes adjust for inflation.
You know, I didn't know.
Where I shed away
Did you
the-
know Timothy Chalamet is a nepo baby?
His mom. He mentions his mom in his award. So
His mom's like she was like a producer. Like
Yeah,
a big
she said that
producer.
he said that she had been working in his.
That's
acceptance
another thing.
speech.
They always hand them to fucking nepo babies, bro. Like,
So you're glad he didn't win?
no, I mean, I wasn't that invested because I never saw the movie, so I wasn't like. I mean, he could have been fucking amazing, and maybe I would have been like, oh, actually.
I
You know-
low-key thought the whole entire time he was there was for Dune. I didn't know he was there for a whole entirely
If it
different
was
movie.
for Dune, then he's
You know,
really good in Dune.
You know what's crazy? I'm glad you just said that. People were bringing up that this is how you know that the Oscars really don't be watching fucking movies, because people say that the nuance and the actual character development and character building around Paul Atreides, his character in Dune, is actually way harder of a performance to act than fucking playing Bob Dylan, who's a real person.
Yeah.
Playing the complexities of Paul Atreides, especially because there's books on him.
Yeah.
People were saying that's actually where he should be getting praised.
Luke
because
Skywalker.
yeah, yeah, but Oscar's obviously the pretentious. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like,
No, did you hear that that like 6 of the voters admitted they never saw Dune?
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't vote for
and
it.
it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, if it was for Dune now, then I would have. You know who should have got a supporting nominee for
Zendaya.
No. Austin Butler for Dune 2. He's
Oh,
great
yeah,
in Dune.
he
2.
I
is.
still haven't finished it, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're only halfway through. I was watching it with her, but we obviously it's a long ass movie.
Oh,
It's already
he
like
hasn't even shown up
it's
yet?
already midnight.
He
He
hasn't-
was, he was barely showing
He had
up.
just shown up, and I was like, "This is probably the best time to call it a night," because it was already like
before
one,
he starts going
like 1 in
on.
the morning.
No, yeah, Dune should have won something. Dune 2 was
They
good.
did win something, no? Didn't they win like?
Best original sound.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, I thought they won
Some bullshit. award.
cinematography or something.
I
No.
might have been asleep. I did fall asleep during the Oscars.
You did?
I took a
Makes sense.
small little cat nap.
Where was I going with this?
Maybe it was a little boring.
Where is, oh, the
It was boring.
the nepo baby thing. I feel
Uh-huh.
like at a certain point, it just feels like their parents are handing them awards.
Yeah.
because they're nepo babies. So I'm like, oh, your fucking
But,
dad
like,
probably
I-
voted for this, bro.
I guess like I think about like my kids. Wouldn't you want your kid? Wouldn't you want to cater to your
Well,
kids?
I think, but come on.
I get it. I get it because we're not on that side. But if I was like fucking Harrison Ford or some shit, I don't want to like help my son out get into acting.
No. I mean the Oscars. I'm talking about the Oscars. It's like at a certain point, I feel like the awards being handed out are being handed out by their parents. Like it's probably like your dad's buddy who gave you.
I
that
think
Oscar.
I think Mickey Madison also too is a nepo baby.
Yeah, they're all nepo babies. I don't think a single person is really not a nepo baby.
Damn.
Fucking Billie Eilish is a nepo baby. Isn't her dad like a producer?
Yeah.
I think
So-
both her parents
So
are
is
like
Claro.
producers.
They're all nepo babies. Jack
So,
Quaid.
Claro Stray. She wasn't even. Billie Eilish was there at the Oscars. Claro.
It's because everybody talks about how
She's a nepo baby.
no, everybody talks about how nobody knew for a while
That
she was-
Claro was?
Yeah, I remember when Nepo Baby was first coming out. Everyone was like, "Did you know Claro's a Nepo
Yeah.
Baby?"
Ariana
Yeah.
Grande is too.
They all are. They all are. There's not a single person really that isn't. You have to
What
know
about Dennis
people.
Quaid?
Dennis Quaid, Jack Quaid, Dennis Quaid.
No, I'm just kidding. Did you watch Companion?
Companion?
Yeah,
I-
he had a new movie that came out, a horror movie.
Who? Jack or Dennis?
Jack is the kid, right?
Jack is the kid. He's Huey and
Jack Quaid. He had a new movie that came out
Is
a
it
couple
good?
weeks ago called Companion. Yeah, I got like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. I want to go see it. It was pretty good, but it is. I think I missed some of the nuance because it's very women centered. It's about a companion. Like get it? Like it's about like women are men's
Did
companions.
you see his dad's Reagan movie? How he made the Ronald Reagan movie?
I heard it flop
Who?
like a fucking fish.
Jack Dennis Quaid? Do you
An
know him?
American Saga.
The Trump supporter.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
made a Ronald Reagan movie where he played Ronald Reagan, and it's the
Oh.
whole movie is just sucking off Ronald Reagan about how he's an awesome dude.
You know who he is, right?
Mhm.
The dad. He
Yeah.
came on.
But
Parent
see,
Trap.
that's another thing
Yeah.
that I hate. I feel like all these people are lame.
I was sad. I was like, damn, he's a Trump supporter. I hope he rots. He is getting uglier, so
Yeah,
His
he
son.
is rotting. So
His son seems to be cool. He seems to be pro.
yeah. So don't you? That's why when it comes to like Oscars or awards, I'm like, I feel like these are just your parents fucking being like, my son was the best one. It's like when the coach's kid wins MVP, and it's like, come on, your fucking kid didn't.
do you?
deserve
But do you
MVP.
think Dennis Quaid actually has that power?
Dennis Quaid? No. But I think it's like when I'm talking about the awards, I'm like, these people, like, they know each other. They're probably they probably went to a carne asada, and he was like, yo, so you're
Yeah.
voting on my kid, right? Hey,
Yeah.
come on.
There's all say fuck Bronny James, right,
Yeah.
Brennan?
He's mad because
Yeah, exactly. Because he loves LeBron.
But what does that have to do though?
He's a nepo baby.
I'm talking about the awards though. I'm not talking about Neville. He's just mad because he works with his dad, so he thinks I'm dissing him.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think of that.
It-
Am I a nepo baby
that-
too?
He's mad. He
You are, bro.
I genuinely didn't think of that until
that's
you
why
pointed
he's
it out.
projecting.
Is it like
He's
did you?
projecting.
He's projecting. He's like, nah, no,
But you
But I
wouldn't
feel
do
like,
that.
but I feel like it's different.
No,
when,
it is
when
different.
when it's like the minority.
No,
groups.
it is different. I'm talking about
Yeah,
the
you
awards.
asshole.
I'm talking about the award. Why do you defend them so much?
Wait,
These
what?
Poor millionaires.
She
These
said
poor-
minorities. I'm defending
You're
minorities.
talking about I'm talking about the actors.
Yeah, you're talking about basketball. He's talking about.
I'm talking about the actors. I'm talking about the
I know,
awards.
but I brought up Bronny James because you like LeBron.
No, but you said wouldn't you help your son? And I'm like, I feel like that's different though. I feel like them handing out awards to these people. I'm like, I feel like this is like the coach's son getting MVP. Like this guy didn't fucking deserve it. Like when the Grammys, they gave it to who was it? Fucking what's his name? When they didn't give it to Kendrick Lamar, they gave it to what's his name? The guy, the white guy.
Eminem.
You guys don't know ball. The Macklemore, when they gave Macklemore the Grammy to instead of Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar is in a nepo baby.
I couldn't, bro. He was never gonna come to my mind.
You know what? Michael Moore was gonna be like my third choice. Second one was gonna be Mac Miller, and then that's why. Then I'm like, oh, Macklemore. That's my third choice.
And hasn't Eminem infamously never won a
No, he's
Grammy?
won a Grammy.
I thought
He was the upset.
I thought he was super, because I've seen that rant where he's like, "Don't you dare fucking invite me to the Grammys when
I
you're
was
gonna
gonna sit me next to Britney Spears, so
some
I
shit
can.
like that, some shit like that."
I thought he did because he was controversial.
He also won an Oscar.
He did
Yeah,
for 8
Eminem
Mile.
for 8 Mile.
Oh, he
Yeah.
has an EGOT or whatever.
He's the only rapper to ever win an Oscar. Oh, actually, no. Didn't somebody recently finally join him? Am I tripping? Was it for Black Panther or am I tripping?
Was it Kendrick for Black Panther?
For all the
Oh,
stars?
that's another thing. That's another thing. Do you remember when Jamie Lee Curtis won Best Supporting Actress? I really liked Everything Everywhere All at Once, but she's fucking barely in that movie.
I know, that's what I thought about
She's
recently.
fucking barely
Yeah.
in that movie, and she won over Angela Bassett, who is
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's obviously, that was biased.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's a nepo baby, right?
That was biased.
So that's
Her
what I mean.
mom or
That's
something
what I
Yeah.
mean. Where I'm
Her
like,
mom was a legend, yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I
well,
think
it's what's her name?
I also feel like the
For sure.
the Oscar that she got, and Jamie Lee Curtis,
yeah.
she's now in controversial shit. But at the time, she's been in a lot of the childhood movies.
Yeah.
I feel like she got that award. It was just a sympathy award. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was because, like, she's been acting for years and
Yeah.
she never won. So
I-
I think they
no,
just
but-
gave it to her because, like, she hasn't won for anything.
But that's what I mean. I feel like she's a nepo baby. She's basically Hollywood royalty. She's been
Yeah.
acting forever, and they gave it to her probably because, hey, I used to get dinner with her mom. She was so cool. Like, let's give it to Jamie finally.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean when I'm like, I feel like there's just these nepo kids' parents, friends being like, I'll just give it to what's his name's kid. You know what I mean? So that we're tight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I
that's
get you,
that's
yeah.
why I'm like, I feel like
In a weird way, I thought that's why Timothée Chalamet was going to win because he mentioned in the SAG his mom. Like, oh, my mom's worked here 4 years. I thought everybody would be like, oh, that's your mom? You know what I mean?
No, but for sure, that's why I feel like it's cheapened. Because I'm like, well, even if he had one, I'm like, did he earn it? Did he earn it or did his mom just give it to
That's
him?
true.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think the movie industry suffers with it more than any other industry. I mean, I know basketball. Funny enough, I generally was just mentioning Bronny to rage bait you because you like LeBron James. But of all other industries, I think the movie industry is the one that suffers more from nepos. No, because I think that because of editing, you can fake that someone's a good actor. But when it comes to music, you can't really fake that. They got to be able to make their own music and make their own sound and gain it. NBA, they got to be born genetic freaks. Even Bronny, I mean, he made it to the NBA, but he's still in the G League. I think that, but when it comes to acting, it's literally fake.
No, but that's what I mean when I'm like, that's what I mean when I'm like, I don't have a problem with nepo babies if you admit it and you're fine. You know, like if you just say, oh, I maybe had an advantage for sure.
If you admit it and give me a couple bands.
Yeah, exactly. No, if you admit it, but that's why when it comes to like an award that's like campaigned for and like you're campaigning to the guy's parents, I'm like, you get what I mean?
No, I get you.
It's like
No, I
slips-
get you.
Yeah, so whatever.
No, I get you.
But
So this all just say fuck the Oscars?
yeah, pretty much. And we gotta start talking about the political and economic state of the world.
Valid.
All my friends are just like,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jaden Smith didn't eat with that?
Nah.
Why did it fall flat? Why do you think it fell flat?
At the time? Because at the time, no,
Do you
actually.
think it's just
At
because
the
he's
I was about to
Will
reach
Smith
real
kid?
I don't
crazy.
know. At the time, people didn't want to get political.
I thought it was more because he's Will Smith's kid, and everybody's like, the fuck do you know?
I know.
this kid?"
Speaking of Nepo babies.
Yeah, that's why I thought everybody hated it, because it's like, the fuck do you know,
But
bro?
he was good in Karate Kid.
He was
I
pretty
wanna
good at
He
go
karate.
was
home.
good in Karate
I want to
Kid.
go
I
home.
want to go home.
I just think he didn't actually want to act.
I
Sadly
think,
enough,
I think it feels like Will Smith's kids. Like I think he just forced them to do it.
yeah, I was gonna say, weirdly enough, I always feel like it's the Nepo kids who don't want to get into the business that end up being the ones that like I feel like are the most talented or have the most potential to actually.
Chet Hanks.
Yeah, Chet Hanks' kid.
I feel like he could be a good actor.
I won't say anything because he's so crazy that I would never want this to age badly.
Yeah. You know, what was I gonna say?
Because I feel like Willow has good music.
Have you guys ever heard? It's the guy you like, Gabor Mate. I think he said it.
Yeah.
Where he says, you know, you're a good parent if your kid doesn't want to be famous. And he said because generally speaking, if they don't want to be famous, it means because they have an internal validation system. So you've taught them how to be like their own validation system. So they don't need to be like, the world needs to see how great I am, because I already know how great I am. Like, I'm a good person.
Whoa.
So like if your kids want to be famous, generally speaking, it's because like there's something like they want the validation of the world. So that's why when I see like the Nepo babies who are like, please, I'm awesome, it's maybe that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's like it's all the love their daddy and mommy
Do you
could
guys
never
want to
give
be
them.
famous?
No. I mean, we've kind of talked about this a lot. I mean, I know we do the pod, so it's ironic to say that. But like we said, the pod fell into our laps. So.
I wish I could do stuff without being there. You get what I mean?
No.
That's called astral projecting, bro.
I wish I could do
I
the
don't know
Hannah
that.
Montana thing. You don't think? I think that
Well,
would
like
be cool.
so, because you would still want to be like unknown, but you want your show to be
can
known.
you can do that. I mean,
But
I
then
feel
it's like
like-
some fucking
For sure,
dream
no.
face reveal.
Yeah.
shit, where I think it's
it's a little
cringe.
too late.
Yeah.
But you could have done
I feel
that.
like
Dream
I don't
face
know.
reveal?
I feel like you could do reconstructive surgery too.
No, it's just because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, I wanna do my own thing and then just go back to.
But I feel like I get the feeling that I don't know. I feel like our show is like big and our show itself is big. But I
we're
feel
not.
like we're still well enough to like,
But we're
Yeah.
not.
do our own
But
life,
we're
do
not.
our own thing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's just how it's gonna be for us.
Nobody's asking.
Because I
for a
feel like
picture.
we're not the type to be
Yeah.
like we want to be famous.
Yeah.
I think it's just like we
want our message to be
yeah,
famous.
we want our messages to like be out there. But I think so far in our journey, that's how it's been for a bit.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm referencing?
the pirate
Yeah.
writing on the
Yeah, that was bars, dude. That was
But I don't know.
bars. I like
It-
that.
no, because I feel like that's why I've been so like
chill.
I don't think I guess relaxed with the show, because it's like it feels like, yes, our show is like becoming big and this whole thing, and I love it. Like I'm very grateful that it's becoming that.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful that a lot of people have very much connected to what we
Yeah,
say.
and people reach out. I mean, like we're talking about our guest that is next to come. Like, I think that's cool that they reached out. You know,
and I feel like with those things, like, but we're not trying to become influencers.
Yeah.
Like, we're not trying to do any of those things. It's just like
we've actively ran away from that type of lifestyle.
It's like we have our own, still we have our own personal
We're
stuff.
nonchalant. Yeah.
We're nonchalant.
I almost sometimes thinking about this show that when it eventually does grow up really big, I feel like I would love if we each picked like our replacement and this show just continued forever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I'm like, because like we just wanted to.
Like Smosh Games.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no,
see,
not like that.
See, that's why I think it's hard to do the like whole face reveal and replacement shit. Because I feel like going back to the thing, if I was to not show my face, I'd feel like Dream, where it's like face reveal, shit like that. I think
people want to see me.
Yeah, I think it's cringe, but also like I don't know.
I did like Hannah Montana.
Yeah, don't you wish you could do some Hannah Montana shit
or
sometimes?
some Clark Kent type shit?
Yeah, I feel like hey, and then you're like or like Let It Shine.
I also feel like sometimes we do look different, like on camera and
I agree.
off camera.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's why sometimes people can slightly recognize us, and then people sometimes can't really recognize us.
This is just for me. Every person we've met who's in like the same stratosphere as us, every time we meet them in person, I'm like, you look way different to me.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm always like blown away. I'm always like, I want to stare.
I'm telling you, I think my eyes adjust for inflation.
I wanna hold it side by side and be like, whoa, because you know how the camera can't do depth perception.
Yeah,
I feel like it trips me out when I see people in 3D. I'm like, whoa.
No, for sure, yeah, because you sometimes you never see people's side profiles and shit.
Yeah, or
you're
like
oh,
or you also get like
or the back of their head,
or you also get like their size, like how tall they are.
That's true. Everybody's always shorter in real life.
Yeah,
I'm sure people meet us and they're like, "Oh wow, I thought you guys were easily like Julie's like 5'6", and then me and you were like
7'4".
I'm like 5'10", and you're like 6'2".
I'm tiny as fuck.
You're small. You're small. I'm small.
I'm a small girl.
I'm a small girl.
What's that Jenna Oki thing where she's like, I have a very dainty voice and my body's very feeble.
I've never heard that.
You know what I'm talking about?
Who?
I think it's Jenna Oki where she's like, I have a very dainty voice and my figure is very small. So a lot of men naturally feel like they want to protect me. You haven't seen that? And people call it like super cringe.
That is cringe.
I don't know if I'm might not be Jenna Oki, but it was a musician. It was a woman musician.
Man, I hate celebrities, bro. Why are they so like
weird?
Why are they like that? Why are they so weird?
It's the lack of being around the average person.
I feel like you just can't get to that level without being weird.
I just think yes, without being weird, but not in the sense that you were always weird. I think you become weird.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you become a little weird because you're not used to being around the average person.
Yeah, like when Adrien and Brody kissed her, I feel like if you pull that on the street, you get jumped.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, in general, I think that the attitude, I think Kanye, how he's been wearing like the swastika sweaters, like bro, like if a regular dude wear that, you'd probably be dead right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I also think that, I mean, like how you said, a good amount of celebrities are Nepo babies.
Yeah.
So a lot of them didn't live normal lives. Like a lot of them grew up seeing fucking Tom Hanks every single day or some shit. Or like some people grew up seeing Harrison Ford like at their house, like just chilling.
No, actually, I'll stop talking about Chet Hanks, bro. He does scare me a little.
He does scare me. He's fine. He has no allegations right now.
I just don't want to poke the bear.
And then like within just like sports, music, like if you want to be a musician or like a singer, you have to just always be going to like music lessons.
Yeah.
If you want to be a sports kid, you're always just training for it. So you never get surrounded by just the like normal life of being around kids. I mean, sometimes it's just you and your teacher, and that's it.
True.
You know what I wonder sometimes? Because I think a revolution is gonna happen. What do you think's gonna?
What a random just like thing to bring up. Okay. I'll hear you out.
I wonder what's gonna happen to all the famous people. Like which actors people are gonna let slide? Because I feel like some of them are
assimilate back to life.
Like what do you think is gonna happen to them? Like, do you think they're gonna get
For sure.
Don't you think they'll all just run away somewhere?
Do you think they'll get ripped apart, or do you think they'll be like let slide?
Like some of them will be eaten, some of them will be beheaded, some of them will be let slide.
Do you think? Do you think so, or do you think?
Yeah, I think some of them for sure. I think some of them will be let slide. I can't pinpoint which ones, but for sure some of them are getting like the guillotine or the ripped apart ones.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, I want to say the athletes are maybe the ones that like
let slide.
Because they seem to be the ones that are around the most common people because they're constantly at stadiums.
Yeah.
And so they constantly see regular average people and interact with them. But celebrities are always tunneled up in their mansions. So
with other rich people.
Yeah. And so to like, you see somebody who has so much and you have so less, for sure there's going to be some people get ripped apart.
A lot of the sports people tend to go to like different facilities. Like some of them will do like Make-A-Wish.
Oh, like fundraisers and stuff. Yeah.
Like fundraisers. Like
so,
they'll actually go to events.
I also think the sports people generally, more often than not, come from humble beginnings.
Yeah.
Like LeBron.
And also on a physical level, I think they're the most capable of defending themselves. So I don't think they're getting ripped apart.
Yeah. Like, are you running up on LeBron?
Are you running up on Jalen Hurts, bro?
Hell no.
He's fucking huge and shit.
That's true.
But yeah, I was telling Brandon yesterday that we saw Obama.
Oh, bro, Obama was at the Clipper game.
I asked her, I was like, would you have taken a picture with him? Is Obama the one guy you could take a picture with or nah?
I don't know. He did bomb those kids.
I told you. Yeah, I was like, no.
She said, I told you.
What would you have
I did say that. I was like, no, I was like,
she did say
I was like, he did a lot of other shit that people don't like. So I was like, probably not.
There's probably no president you could take a picture with, huh?
Yeah, I don't think so.
That sucks.
I don't think there is.
But he was next to Steve Ballmer. They were chatting it up the whole entire
game.
He
was there like the whole game almost.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were like, why is he here?
Is he a Philly fan? There's no way he's a
Clippers fan. He was a Pistons Detroit fan because I kept seeing him like squirm whenever the Pistons scored.
Is he from there? I thought he was from Hawaii.
I thought he was from Hawaii too.
Maybe he's just a Detroit Pistons fan.
How come Hawaii doesn't have a team? They need a team.
What would you name them? What would you name them?
Ooh, that's a good question.
The flowers. The florals.
What would be their
Dolphins?
Logo? Their logo.
They could be like the volcanoes.
They'd be the Dolphins. I can see them being the Dolphins.
Are there probably like the volcanoes or some shit?
I was saying the volcanoes.
Some shit like that.
That'd be cool, but I don't think that represents like the tropical nature.
But they're an island though, so like.
True. I mean, but I feel like when I think volcano, I think fiery, and I feel like
there'd be fire.
Hawaii's more like tropical breeze.
What would you name the Mexico team? They're supposed to give one to Mexico City.
Oh yeah, Mexico City. It's gonna be something like Maya, like or Azteca.
Yeah, you're right.
It's for sure gonna be some bullshit like that.
I would love to have a team in Mexico. That would be so cool.
It'd be cool if they were the Cholo Eats Squeetlies.
Imagine Squeetlies. That's a long name.
People they wouldn't be able to pronounce that shit.
Their mascot's a dog.
Dog. That'd be cool. We need more live action mascots. Or when we went to Fullerton, I was always mad we didn't have an elephant, like a real one.
We had the bones of them.
It was a mammoth, not an elephant.
Oh, right.
Wait, like a mascot?
Yeah, like a legit elephant, like a real live action elephant. Because you know how some of them have like a real live action bull or a horse or a dog. I think we should
on their campus.
Yeah, we had the facilities. We could have an elephant. No,
wait, who has one?
Nobody, but I think we should have.
He's like that's the point. Nobody has.
They used to have one. They used to have one, right?
In the they used to race them or some shit.
In the 50s, they used to have an elephant, and I feel like we should have had one.
Like a real life.
Yes, imagine in a giant like field, like 10 acres or some shit like that. We had a real elephant that we rescued from the wild that we saved. Yeah, that was just our mascot. He just chilled there,
and students are allowed to like go in
at a college facility.
Yeah, and he's taken care of. Students are allowed to study.
Oh, students study him.
Study him.
They could stay in his exhibit, like do homework.
They could teach him. They can, he gets treated well.
They can pet him.
He gets treated well. He's saved. Don't you think that would be cool?
I think that'd be cool. That'd be my dream world.
I was always very disappointed that we didn't have a real elephant.
I'm dead.
You were the Gators?
Did you guys have a gator?
No.
Well, you guys should have had a real gator.
I know. What the fuck? That's like the easiest shit to have.
Wouldn't that have been cool if the department takes care of the zoology department takes care of the gator and
Oh, but you know what they had? They had a building in the shape of a gator.
Yeah. We also had a statue of a gator.
Well, we're gonna. Is there anything else?
Nah, that's it.
We're gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode because we just been yapping. But before we do that,
I have all the patrons on my phone.
I guess I'll say them.
Yeah, Julie could say them.
well, I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to people who aren't Patreons. Then
Let me see if I can remember them all. Shout out to Yoel. Shout out to Jada Chicano. Shout out to I Am Potato Tots. Shout out to Carla Corazon. Shout out to El Verdugo de Pasadena. Shout out to Altadena will rebuild.
And it will.
That's 6. Who am I missing? Shout out to
Damn, whoever you're missing is probably like
choking
choking themselves. Like they hate me.
I said 6. How many were there?
He hates me. Julie, do you see them or not?
Jenny?
7.
7? Who's the
I was
last
trying
one?
to count them.
Who's the last one?
Okay, so you said Yoel,
Jada Chicano.
Jada Chicano, Eli Quintero.
Eli
There you
Quintero.
go.
That's who I was
So
missing.
sorry.
And she's the OG.
She's the
She
OG.
is.
I knew it.
Damn.
Don't worry.
Sorry,
I'll take care of
sorry.
it.
So
I'll
I'll say
take
them
care of it.
again.
Yeah.
So Yoel, Jada Chicano, Eli Quintero, I Am Potato Tots, Steven Carvajal, Carla Corazon, and Altadena will rebuild.
And it will.
Damn, I was so close. But thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all of your patronage. If anybody wants to join, our link is always in the description. We had a really fun episode today. We're going to have an even better one next week, hopefully. So tune in. And we really hope you guys enjoy. So, bye.
See you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.